there are like ideally five things that you have to become aware of. You got to become aware of these things. And this is like I call it the purpose pyramid. When you understand your purpose, what it does, it enables you to be able to be purpose-driven, have a purpose-driven business, and actually reach all of your goals, including both financial, prosperity-wise, but also relationship goals and everything, health goals, everything else. Where is my pen? Hold on. Pen tool. Okay. All of these things. Okay. So there are basically 5 things that you must understand, and you have to be aware of these things and actually start questioning yourself. Where do I fall on these 5 levels? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So where do I fall on these 5 levels? The first thing is, purpose. You have to understand your purpose. When I first started my business, I just wanted to make some money. That's it. I didn't have a purpose-driven business before. I just wanted to be able to make some money. I mean, y'all probably can relate to that. I just want to know how to use my business to make money, not have to work for somebody else, be able to pay my bills and live good, right? That's all I wanted. But I had to hone in on, well, what is my purpose in order for me to really start seeing a thriving business? You were born and created for a purpose, right? When it comes to doing business with the government, all of those contracting opportunities are purpose opportunities. There are problems that the government is saying, I'm looking for the perfect and the right business that can solve this problem, right? So what is your purpose? And so for me, it's like when I was little, I used to love music. So I used to have like a home rigged studio type of thing. But I also used to sing and rap and dance and all that stuff with local celebrities on like local albums and stuff like that. So because I used to love to rap and sing, I had anybody remember like the cassette? Like I was born in the 70s, so cassettes was real. It was a real thing before digital MP3 downloads and all that stuff. I was around during Napster when the first MP3 came about. Yeah, so that's how I go back, right? So the cassette tape, I used to have a cassette player and another cassette player. And then on one, I will record my voice, and the other one, I will play the music. So then the one that I record my voice, you could get both the voice and the music. So that was like a home rigged studio, right? But sometimes those cassette tapes would pop. And when they would pop, I would be like, oh man, that could have been a hit, right? So I got really good at splicing them together. I would take a piece of tape and I'll match up the ribbons and splice them together, right? But moving forward, when I went to school for media production, I found myself splicing tapes, VHS tapes, same exact thing, right? So I'm like, oh, okay, there's a thing. I'm a video producer and an editor, right? So the first time I started business with a video production company. The first contract that I got was photography, but moving forward, I started getting large, lucrative video production. So now I understand that, oh, my purpose has been my gift all along. I didn't even know, right? But some people they jump in a business because, you can make money doing these things, but is it your purpose? When you're doing and operating in your purpose, then it doesn't feel like you're going to work. It's something that you love to do, right? And it's like you can have fun for the rest of your life. Purpose. What is your purpose? Are you purpose driven? Purpose is like when you have a purpose, then you're no longer getting, making money, just making money. You're solving problems. Solving, right? Problem solving. The person who can solve the most problems gets the most contracts and can create the most wealth. So what problem are you designed to solve? Ask yourself that, right? Is your business aligned with that? The service you're offering? I know you probably went down a rabbit hole yesterday, like a lot of people on the next codes, right? But you got to ask yourself, well, what is my purpose? What is my gift? What do I really love to do? Start there. Are you solving a problem? So once you're in alignment with your purpose and your business, right, your offering, the next thing on the list is identity. ID, the be to have, right? Who are you being in the marketplace? That speaks, identity is everything. Who are you? You don't have to wait to see the millions in order for you to be the millionaire that you want to aspire to be. You could be that now. It's all about making a decision. I'm just going to think, act, operate like a millionaire. Well, what do you need to do? This is identity. What do you need to do? What do millionaires do? You got to start asking yourself, what do millionaires do? Do the research, read books, read books about millionaires and what they've done. How do they act? How do they spend their day? How do they value time? What do they do with their money? Do they really buy Bentleys and Benzes and stuff like that? Because when I first started landing all of these contracts, that's the first thing I did. I bought a Benz, I bought a Rover, I made like all the dumb, like for real, I'm like, I'm rolling, I'm in the hood. How you in the hood and you rolling the Benz and a Rover? So I made all the dumb mistakes. So that's why I want you to become aware. But then it wasn't until I got around wealthy people and they're like, nah, get some gold. Get some silver, buy some art, right? Those are assets. Get some rental property. So then guess what? When I had absolutely nothing and I started thinking about the assets that I wanted to acquire, then I started buying land and rental properties and things that are considered passive income, right? Those assets that will create more value in the future, things that you can actually fund a legacy with and fund a trust with. I started buying those things, but guess what? I didn't use my money. Guess whose money I used? Guess who funded my legacy? The government. Started landing the contracts. The government has been funding the legacy and providing the things that I've never thought was possible. First 10 acres of land, the government funded it. First 5 rental properties, the government funded it. First dream home, the government funded it. So when you're thinking about this government contracting journey, you really got to start thinking bigger. You got to start thinking big, like literally. So who is the person that think big? Well, who am I today? What do I believe? What programming do I need to unprogram myself with so that I'm able to actually get the result that I want? Well, the next thing is values. What do you value? All the things that you value. Most people value money. Money is a tool. Money is a tool. Rich people, wealthy people, they value time. Money is a tool that can help you buy your time back. Did you know you can buy time? Did you know that? You gotta put yourself in a position where you're making enough money to buy your time freedom. Not I'm gonna work 40 hours, 50 hours, 60 hours for 30 years. And then by 30 years, then I'm gonna be able to have time freedom. No, you can have time freedom now when you're making enough money now to buy your time back now. So you can spend that time with the people, you know, that you love, because 30, 40 years, they may not, the people that you're waiting 30 years to free your time for, they may not even be around. So you got to do it now. You got to value time. Time is not money. Most people, like, we've been programmed, time is money. No, time is not money. Time is ultimately more valuable than money. What do you value? So you got to think about, what are the things that I value? Time, relationships, friendships, whatever it is, all the things that you value, you must take action towards the things that you value. When you have this, so this is like, this creates a steady flow to you being able to reach your goals. So the next thing is belief. What do you believe? Right? What do I believe and why do I believe it? Is this something that I believe because I've done my due diligence and research and I truly believe that this is true? Or is it something that I believe because I grew up believing it, because other people, the media, the news, the teachers, the schools have taught me that this is what's true, right? Because truth, the scripture that talks about, and you should know the truth, and the truth shall set you free, right? It really does. When you know the truth, like yesterday, my financial advisor, Brandon, like, he started talking about some truths about the compound effect in money and how your money can grow and all this other things, right? When you understand those types of things, right, it will set you free. Then you start knowing that money can work for you instead of you working for money. So what are the things that you believe? Do you believe you can, or do you believe you can't? If you believe you can, if you believe you can't, guess what? You're both right. You're right. regardless of what you believe. Some people don't believe that they can become, add $1 million to their business every day or every year. Some people don't believe that, right? Some people really don't believe that. Why? Is because of the limitations, the programming that happens, and the limitations that's been installed in you, right? To believe that it takes 10 years to make $1 million, right? Every single one of you on this particular Zoom have already touched $1 million or more. Every single one over your lifetime. You've already touched $1 million or more. If you're a parent and you have children, you start spending money while they're still in your womb, all the way through their 25, because they ain't grown at 18, right? So you're talking about Pampers, clothes, paying for school, after school activities, all the different things, college, all that stuff, all those things, that's $1 million child by the end of the day. It's $1 million. So if you have 5, you've already $5 million worth of kids, right? So if you've had a job that paid you $80,000 a year, 10 years, what is that? That's 800,000. So about 12 years on the job, you've been a millionaire. But the problem is you've made it slowly. But one of the biggest things that we've been programmed to believe is that fast money is bad, or people start associating getting rich quick with a scheme, get rich quick scheme. So as long as you have that in your belief system, when you have that in your belief system, guess what? Then you're going to believe that the only way to get rich is to get it rich slow. But wealthy people get rich fast, and getting rich quick is not a scheme, right? In fact, biblically speaking, if you do the research, there are more scriptures about wealth and abundance and prosperity and making money than it is about faith and religion in the Bible. More scriptures about those things. So what does that tell you? If you've done your research, do it for yourself, right? Can't make this stuff up. If you've done your research and it talks about wealth, prosperity, multiplying, and all these other things 3 times more often than they talk about faith and praying, then what does that tell you? You should be thinking about wealth, right? And prosperity, right? That's who you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be wealthy, especially if you believe in God. If you're a believer, especially if you believe in God. If you believe in God and you're like, oh, my father is rich and houses and land and all this other stuff, that means that you are an heir, right? You're not supposed to be poor. Poverty is not of God, it is not. But unfortunately, if you've gone to church and been in church, you have been taught that wealth is wicked. And the more poorer you are, the more God-like you are. That is wrong. It's backwards. We've been taught all the wrong things. So what are you believing? And usually people take action or inaction based on what they believe. If you believe something can happen for you if you take a specific action, if you believe that, right, then guess what? You're going to take the action and you're going to get the result. If you're a naysayer and you don't believe, right, your faith is fueled, your belief is fueled by negativity, negative thoughts. I can't do this. It's impossible. It's oversaturated. There's too many people. It's highly competitive. All of these things that people believe around even the government contracting world, right? Then guess what? Your belief system disables you from the ability to be able to win, right? And at the bottom of this pyramid, let me see, programming. This is the belief system is all about the programming. What have you been programmed? Programming, right? So what have you been programmed to believe? Because what you're programmed to believe, that's the reality that you actually live in. So you got to start thinking about other things, like believing other things. And then at the bottom is results. Results. This is the outcome. But this is how our metaphysics cycle thing, this is how it works spiritually. This is, if you understand your purpose, then you understand who you are, and you have decided this is who I am going to be, being, doing, having, right? And then the things that you value and the things that you believe is going to be, it's going to be the things that you actually do. It's going to be based on the things that you value and the things that you believe. Then the results is actually going to come natural based on these things. So basically, if you are where you are because of whether or not you understand your purpose, whether or not you understand who you are, the things that you value, and the things that you believe, this is the result that you have. So if you don't like the results that you have, you got to start re-identifying your purpose, re-identifying the who you are. You got to do an audit check of the things that you value, right? And also the things that you believe and disbelieve. You got to start thinking, why do I disbelieve that? Why do I think there's lack of money and money today? Like, why do I think that we're in a recession? Why do I believe those things? Because the things that you believe, you will be unable to take action on them if you disbelieve certain things, right? And then that's how you print out a result. So for everything, if you apply this strategy, this methodology, like this purpose-driven producer, basically, if you apply this to anything that you want to accomplish, whether it's I want to get wealthy, I want to have a better relationship with my children, I want to do, if you apply this, you can accomplish any result. You can print out any result. Life just does not happen. Most people think that, these are the cards I was dealt. Life just does not happen. Life happens because of the things that you are doing or not doing, the decisions that you are making or not making. That's the output.